Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am Kyle Jellings, and make sure you go to hometownstation.com for all the latest and greatest in the Santa Clarita Valley. And joining us in studio, speaking of the greatest, Mercedes-Benz and Valencia, and Mercedes-Benz of Valencia and KHTS. We're taking a positive spin on a new feature that it's not really new. We've done it for a little while now, but we focus on those individuals who make a difference to our quality of life here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Santa Clarita Valley's Unsung Heroes focuses the spotlight on those who work behind the scenes, who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and make the impossible reality. This week's edition is Joyce Carson. And Joyce, how are you?
Hi, Kyle. I'm great.
Yeah. So how about that little intro there? You guys are getting you are getting your hands dirty to make the impossible possible.
My hands are always dirty, too dirty. Yeah.
But okay, so you gave me this bio here, and I don't have time to read everything. I only have an hour on the air. Okay. So and I wanted to talk to you just about Joyce. You've been heavily involved in the community for 35 years?
Almost 40.
Yeah, 40 years, almost 40 years here in the Santa Clarita Valley, and just really unbelievable. And I wanted to ask you, Joyce, you were the 2001 Woman of the Year. I'll do a little thing here, okay? You were the 2001 Woman of the Year, living in Santa Clarita for more than 40 years, and taught 32 years at Sulphur Springs School District. You're now retired, but you're still actively involved in the community. And when did you grow up here? Did you go to high school here?
No, actually, I graduated from Granada Hills High. I was kind of a valley girl.
Okay.
So I didn't. I moved out here when I started teaching in 1970.
Okay. Okay. And you taught at what school?
Leona Cox.
Okay.
The Valley View, and then my last 12 years were Sulphur Springs Elementary School.
Okay, fantastic.
All kindergarten and first grade.
Whoa. Man, that is... That's tough.
It's fun, though.
Yeah, well, I tip my hat to you.
Fresh energy.
Yeah.
And excitement.
And lots of it.
Lots of
right. energy.
But I'm like that, too, so I fit right in with those 5-year-olds.
Okay, so you taught, obviously, teaching, molding young minds, as it were. Right. And talk to me a little bit about, I read in here, in 1984, was your first bout actually, let's go back a little bit more.
Okay.
Let's go back a little bit more. Okay. When you were a kid growing up, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you always want to be a teacher?
Actually, in junior high and high school, I was really interested in journalism, and I worked on the school papers. And all the way through, I went to Pierce College for 2 years before I went to Cal State Northridge. And I worked on the paper at Pierce. I worked on the sundial at Cal State Northridge. But when I was at Pierce, I realized that journalism wasn't popular for women back then, other than Barbara Walters, maybe. So I started getting nervous that maybe I wouldn't be able to get a job, even though I loved that. So I decided maybe I should go into teaching. So I actually started taking some pre-teaching classes then while working in journalism. In fact, I forgot all about it. It's not on my resume, but I got some kind of a award for future teacher when I was at Pierce. I remember getting that.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
And so journalism, I graduated. Got my degree in journalism as well.
My minor was actually journalism at Northridge.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. And you said you had a job in journalism? Did you have a job in journalism?
Well, when I was in high school, I got $3 every time there was a paper in Granada Hills called the North Valley Mail. And believe it or not, my husband will really not believe this. I don't even know if I've ever told him. I wrote for this paper called the North Valley Mail, and I had to cover the baseball stories.
Nice. All right.
And I got $3, and that was my first real big thing. But actually, I wrote a column here for a year for the Signal called Face Off. It was a political column.
Oh, okay.
And
so you're still doing that type of stuff?
No, I don't do any of that. I only do volunteer press releases for some of the nonprofits. Okay, so
speaking of nonprofits, when did you? I know it says 1984. You got involved in the Child and Family Center, and what?
How did I get into that?
Yeah, how did you get into that? Did you do any volunteer work growing up at all?
I grew up in a family that volunteered. My dad was really, really involved in Granada Hills in the community. He was involved in local politics, but he also did a lot of things for his temple and for organizations.
Okay.
So that was, I grew up that you help people. That's what you do. But in 1984, I already had a master's degree and my bachelor's degree, but I decided I wanted to get my marriage and family therapy license and have another option for myself. When later on in life, I thought maybe when I retired. So I went to school, got my master's in marriage and family therapy, needed to do some intern hours. That's how I first started with the Child and Family Center. And I was interning. I was seeing clients as an intern. Back in those days, you actually got paid $8 an hour.
Wow.
And I did this at night while I was teaching during the day. But then I got in a ski accident.
Oh.
And so I never finished my hours. So while I got the master's in marriage and family therapy, I didn't become a therapist.
Oh, okay.
So instead, I got involved with the Children's Center from another angle. I got on their board. I started fundraising with them. And I've been fundraising with them for over 30 years. Been, as it says on my resume, done a lot of different things for the Child and Family Center.
And I think you've made up for those lost hours.
I think so.
Certainly.
I think so.
For those intern hours, certainly. And so, so the Child and Family Center, and what set the Child and Family Center apart? Because I know you've been heavily involved in that for a long time.
Heavily involved.
So
right?
what was different about this one?
Gosh. Well, first of all, it takes a team approach. It deals with mental health, and as we all know, mental health is the key to having a good community, having good families, and and like I said, I like the team approach. They have all kinds of therapists. They have people for emergency. They have psychiatrists. They work with foster kids. They work with, kids on drugs. Just everything you can think of. Attention deficit kids. And it's a team approach because there's several therapists often working together on one child, and there's a sliding pay scale,
Yeah.
And it's just everything I believe about helping people and making
Fantastic.
people whole.
Awesome. Joyce Carson, she's our Mercedes-Benz of Valencia unsung hero this go-around. You were, 2001 Woman of the Year. You were the Volunteer of the Decade in 2009.
For the Child and Family Center.
For the Child and Family Center. So, you just been, you put this on your mantle here, another one of those on your mantle. We're going to talk some more. We got some bills to pay, if that's okay. So we're going to talk some more with Joyce Carson on AM 1220 KHTS. Joyce Carson, she is this edition's Santa Clarita Unsung Hero, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia. Whether volunteering for a nonprofit to build homes for our local vets or a student raising money for their school's library, KHTS is interviewing the people that make the Santa Clarita Valley so extraordinary, and Joyce Carson is one of those individuals. Now, I have 2 pages of stuff here, and we'll get this up on our website so people can see exactly what Joyce Carson has done. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff that you have done, and one of the big ones is the Taste of the Town, the Child and Family Center's premier fundraising event.
Yes.
And so talk to me a little bit about the history of this event.
Gosh. Well, it goes back. This is our 26th annual Taste of the Town. We started at the Pyru Mansion with a group of women. It was the CARES Auxiliary back then that I was involved in. And I think we only had about 10 or 15 restaurants back then, and maybe 300 or 400 people that came to the event.
And how different was it planning for that than it is now? Is it just insanely different?
It's insanely different. The health department's involved now. So, you have a lot of different rules and regulations that you have to follow to be legal, obviously. But also we've grown. We have 45 restaurants and caterers this year, and we're up to 2,000 people in attendance. Obviously, we're making a lot more money. It's just a great big party event now. It's at the Biomed Gardens, and it's fabulous. If you haven't been, I urge you to go to our website and purchase tickets.
And so this year, how many vendors how many businesses are you going to have there?
Well,
restaurants and stuff.
we hope to have about 45 restaurants.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, for people that don't know what it is, people tuning in for the first time, not knowing, what is the Taste of the Town? What is it?
Okay, well, first of all, it's an event to raise funds and awareness for the Child and Family Center. It's a a party, really. It's all the food you could possibly ever eat, and wine and soft drinks there, and you just go from booth to booth having tastings from all these vendors. And
it's
vendors
different-
all donate the food.
So it's all donated food from different restaurants in the
yeah,
Santa
and
Clarita
it's
Valley.
all the premier places in the Santa Clarita Valley. It's just a fun place, and like I said, there's like 2,000 people there. It's just awesome, and hopefully a beautiful day. And we also have a silent auction and a live auction that you can participate in. We usually have a cruise or some kind of trip that you can bid on. This year, we're also going to have something new called I Helped a Child, which is an opportunity where you could donate $50 to $100 or more, of course, to sponsor a child for some of the different programs we have. We're
Fantastic.
hoping to raise a little bit more awareness about the center through that and to raise funds.
Yeah, certainly. And I know it is a party, but it does raise awareness for the Child and Family Center.
Absolutely.
How do people find more information about it?
They can go to our website. Gosh, you didn't tell me to bring the. Here we go. The website is www.tasteofthetown.com.
Fantastic.
And
Excellent.
there's opportunities for sponsorships and, of course, vendors, and then, of course, to buy tickets.
Awesome. Okay, and so that's the big event that's happening right
May
around the corner.
4th from
Okay.
1 to 5.
Okay, that's coming up quick. Okay,
Yes.
it's almost March already, and
It
you got a
is.
couple months to worry about
Tickets
that.
are on sale now.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, you are our Mercedes-Benz of Valencia unsung hero, Joyce Carson, by the way, joining us in studio. And 50 years from now, when somebody is doing a Google search of Joyce Carson, or people are sitting around remembering Joyce Carson, what would you want them to be saying about you, sitting around talking about you? Maybe your family, or people that you've helped in the community. What do you want them to say about you?
That I care about the people that I'm with, people I don't know, and that I did my part to make our community a better place to live.
Excellent. And do you think, you're doing your best you can?
I'm
with
doing
that,
the
right?
best I can right now. I try to do that. And I also really believe in do unto others as you want them to do unto you. And I always try to be respectful of everyone and hope that I get that back.
Fantastic. Joyce, thank you so much. Not only for stopping by, your busy schedule, coming out of your busy schedule to come talk, but for all that you do in the community. This list of stuff is unbelievable stuff you've done for the community, and we do appreciate it here at KHTS.
Thanks for honoring me.
Yeah. Joyce Carson, she is our Mercedes-Benz of Valencia unsung hero, and thank you again.